welcome to this call. I was in a traffic jam and I hope I do not make you all wait for too long. Another phone, white phone. No white phone. So my dear friends, today's subject of discussion, administrator. Is there a way to get answers from God? Who knows the answer to this question? Is there a way to get answers from God? I apologize for, I think, being late for a minute or two. I just realized I am late, but I apologize. As I told you, I was stuck in a traffic jam, but all is well that ends well. Who would like to? I see the hand of Rajesh Rao. Rajesh Rao. Yes, please. Bataiye, Rajesh.
So they say that in prayer you talk to God. In silence, God talks to you.
Lovely. Lovely, 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 lovely. So the question is there a way to get answers from God? So does God answer you? Does God answer you?
Yes.
Can you give me some examples? I want this call to be very effective to people because it's one of the most profound calls. You know, this call is not an ordinary call, my dear friends. It's a way to get answers from God. Do you think it's a joke? It's not a joke. So tell me, Rajesh, how have you got an answer for God? In silence, you say. What do you mean? Explain.
It's called revelation or maybe intuition. People talk about
intuition.
And the questions that you have are maybe.
I'm going to give you my personal example.
Yeah.
But no, but I want, sorry. You are very close to my personal example. So do you want to give some more detail about it? How you get answers from God? Would you like to give an example? It came to you as a flash. It came to you as an inspiration. It came to you as a telepathy. It came as a voice from nowhere when you were in, what are you trying to say?
And they say that when in silence you get revelations, and many research etc. shows people got, like Archimedes got the idea, Vivekananda got when Ramakrishna touched him.
Okay, all this is good, but you're saying they say. Have you got answers, or is this only what you believe?
I may also have got, but I don't remember right now.
Okay, good. Let's Samatma. Thank you, Rajesh. Samatma, is there a way to get look at the question? Samatma, just one moment, right? Is there a way to get answers from God? We all have questions. We all want to talk to God. We all want to listen to God. We all want God to solve our problems. Is there a way to get answers from God? Samatma.
Yes, when you are in total silence and at peace with yourself, that is the time you can hear that tiny voice of God speaking within you.
Beautiful.
At that time, you may remember something that someone said, or a message which has flashed somewhere. You know, it just comes to you like a spark. And when you're open to receiving those answers, yes, you get those answers. You are able to decode the answers at that time.
So, what exactly would you explain this as? How would you explain this? How would people in this group get to understand what you're talking? So are you just saying that if you're in silence and your stillness, then because you don't hear the noise of the outside world, you hear God's voice? Is God's voice male or female? How do you hear God's voice? I mean, explain.
It is when you're in silence and at peace with yourself, that is the time you are open to receive the message that God is giving you.
Okay. And you are saying this from theory point of view or practical point of view?
It's from a practical experience. I have experienced, I have got many answers.
Okay, good. So thank you, Samatma. This is important. So Samatma says, in that moment of silence, when there is stillness, I have got answers. Yogini. And then Girish. Interesting. We have some interesting. I like the champions today. Right from the first champion. Come on, Yogini. And then we are going to get Girish. Shiva.
Yes, you do get answers from the SIP when you are totally in acceptance and surrender. when
How-
nothing is happening your way and you want that to happen, if it is you surrender to God, saying that whatever is going to happen will be the right thing to do.
So in acceptance and surrender. So what you're saying is something very different. You're saying as long as we resist, we don't hear God's, we don't get answers from God. But when we accept and surrender, we get answers from God. You're saying you're not going with Samatma. Samatma is on a different tangent. You're on a different tangent. I'm just trying to see for the audience, for the participants. So we have different views.
I can give you my own example. Just a couple of months back, I was in COVID and I was locked up in myself in the room. And I was just thinking whether I should attend the Zoom call or no, because my situation was such. And I surrendered to God, saying that you think I should attend my call, which is very important to me. Should I do that or not? And I did get the courage and I came forward to attend the Zoom call.
So where did the answer come from?
From SIP.
And it just came to you, and not an SMS, or just came as a flash.
I just got it as, no, why shouldn't I go and sit and hear this?
Good. We are coming there. And today, before the end of this call, you will know how to get answers from God.
Okay.
Today, you will know. Today, for sure, 100% you will learn the art of how to listen to God and talk to God. Thank you, Girish.
When a person is in no mind state, mindful state, or no thought state, or in consciousness, his intellect shines.
Correct.
This state of intellect is guided by voice of God only.
This is like the voice of SIP speaking.
Yes.
You are Girish speaking, or you are SIP in Girish speaking? Who's speaking right now? You think Girish is speaking or SIP is speaking through you?
SIP is speaking through me.
Okay. I don't know whether you will remember to say what you said. So I'm going to challenge you to repeat it after a few more people talking. I don't know whether you will remember, but I'm going to challenge you because it's very difficult to repeat a divine revelation. We have next Ru Mataji and Saroj. But Girish, I want you to repeat what you said after everybody finishes. Ru Mataji and Saroj. Because there are a lot of similarities and a lot of convergences on, is there a way to get answers from God? And today you will learn. Today you will learn. Ru Mataji, bataiye.
Guruji, pranam, Shivoham,
Pranam
Guruji.
Mataji, pranam.
Guruji, we get answers in silence. That is correct.
Huh.
But there is another way also. For example, we all are manifestation of God.
Correct.
Many times I have seen that whatever doubt is in my mind, it is cleared by you in some form or the other. In AiR or in bhajans, I get the answer.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so Guruji, I feel the God is sending the answer through you. So
but
my
I am nothing. How can I give you the answer? As a postman,
yes,
you mean?
Guruji, many times I have experienced, if I am having doubt, you will give the answer in bhajans, then during the bhajan session or AiR session. Many times it has happened to me.
Okay. Now, today you will understand what is that. Today you will understand how and what and why God speaks and how we get answers. We need to understand that. After Saroj. Saroj,
Yes,
is there a way to get answers from God?
so my personal experience is like that. Whenever I talk to God, like by through prayers and all, I just talk to God just like my friend, and automatically my questions getting answers. Like I just personally feel it is all about subconscious mind.
Subconscious mind. Saroj, you're new to this call. So when you say subconscious mind, we shoot down subconscious mind because there is no mind. Where is the mind, Saroj? You cannot find. So let us get into the nuts and bolts. My dear friends, come on, let's pay attention. Is there a way to get answers from God? Girish, would you like to repeat what you said, Girish?
When a person is in no mind state or thoughtlessness state or without thought state or in conscious state, his intellect shines.
Correct.
This state of intellect is guided by God's voice.
Okay. So, my dear friends, this is exactly the truth. Now, what Girish has said, what Rumataji said, and what all of you have said, including Yogini, Samatma, all are right. But you have not understood the way to get an answer from God. You have not got that. You have said it. You have said it. But tomorrow, if you want God to give answer, tell me who will get the answer. Who will tell me how to get the answer? Come on.
गुरुजी आप तो स्लिप पे लिख के अपने टेबल के उसमें डाल देते हैं और आपको आंसर मिल जाता है.
नहीं, वो अलग बात है. वो देखिए, उसको बोलते हैं अटल विश्वास. That getting answers from my Lord Shiva and my Lord was completely bhakti oriented. That was who said accept and surrender. Who said this? Come, just accept and surrender. Who said that?
Yogini.
Yogi, huh? Okay. So that is bhakti. I am not asking for bhakti. I am asking for shakti. My dear friends, I am telling you, when do you want to have God to answer you when you want? Abhi. Abhi, Prabhu, mujhe abhi aapka jawab chahiye. Who can do that? Come on, tell me. Anybody? Blico's taking up the challenge. Come on, Blico. I think you maybe have got a spark. Bolo, Blico.
Shivoham. Only a yogi who is always connected, accept and surrender is already there. And he has a full faith, so he can get the answer whenever he wants.
Beautiful. Beautiful addition to what you have said. You have only given one, you have put one, what they say, na, you added a feather in the cap. आपने मतलब उस प्रिंसेस के क्राउन में आपने एक हीरा ऐड कर दिया. बस इतना आपने प्रिंसेस के क्राउन में ऐड कर दिया. ब्लिको. पर राजेश कुछ शायरी बोलना चाहता है या कुछ आंसर देना चाहता है?
And as I was telling, is one who has total faith and who is so pure that even God cannot refuse him giving the answers.
Okay.
So that may be.
My dear friends, now pay attention to this. Okay, are you all ready to pay attention? This may be the most important and the most profound Zoom call ever. And I only need attention for the next 2 minutes. And you can speak to God forever. I want your complete attention for 2 to 3 minutes. Complete attention. My dear friends, the way to get answers from God is to reach into that state of Satchit Anand. It's the way to reach what Girish said, to that state of consciousness, thoughtlessness, no mindness. Girish said where the intellect shines, it's beyond the intellect shining. It is the spark of unique life. It is the soul shining. In the soul shining, the intellect is one small speck attribute, Girish. My dear friends, do you want answers from God? You all know the answer. God is not God. God is SIP. The moment you realize, I am not Rajesh, I am not Yogini, I am not Samatma, I am not Girish, I am not Bliko, I am not Rajesh. The moment you realize, Neti, Neti, Tattvamasi, the moment you realize, Aham Brahmasmi, Chidanand will tell you, the moment you are in that state of consciousness where you let go of your bhoga, you're a yogi in yoga, you're in that state of silence and stillness, you become one with SIP. You are completely in stillness. I get voices from the divine every now and then when I become nothing. When there is shunyata. Not otherwise. When there is a shaitan in charge of my head, I cannot do it. I'm telling you that also. When the Bhagwan is alive in me, when I'm in that state of consciousness, my dear friends, when you reach that state of divinity, you can get answers from God whenever you want. Rumataji, you get the answer because you are in the state of consciousness, and your consciousness is touching an external consciousness. But I don't believe we should depend on that external consciousness. We should depend on the internal consciousness. You have SIP inside you. Cut the noise, hear the voice. Let go of the ego. Still the mind, kill the mind. I am telling you, SIP is ready with the answer. You are not ready to listen. Be still. I challenge you. There should be no thought. There should be no mind. The moment a thought comes, SIP goes. The moment the mind comes, God you cannot find. Yes, that's why Bliko said being a yogi. Because the yogi has got a very strong connection. My dear friends, you can get answers all the time. Every time. Every time. Provided you are in that state of consciousness. But if you're not in the state of consciousness, if you are a slave of the mind, I am sorry, you cannot hear the divine voice. It is impossible to hear the divine voice if you are controlled by the shaitan. The mind will bombard you with so many thoughts, you will have no power to hear God, to listen to God, to speak to God. Nothing. Now you tell me, have you understood or not? How can you get an answer from God? Who will repeat the method? Rajesh Rao. Rajesh, you want to say something or you want to ask? I'm asking a question, who can repeat, but first Rajesh's hand is up. So Rajesh, first you. I want to know, how many of you have understood? How many of you have gotten deep into your consciousness, how to get answers from God? Rajesh Rao.
When you are in the state of Sachit Anand.
Correct.
And you are beyond the intellect and you are one with the soul is there with God. In that moment of shunya.
Yes.
Nothingness.
Yes.
And at that place, nothing of me, everything of you.
Yes.
There, I will get all answers. Whatever.
Correct. But there is no mind, and there is no thought, and there is no ego. None of these. You can hear the divine voice. Thank you. At least I got one good capture. Who will go next? Rekha Parwani. I want to hear how many of you have been able to capture. How many of you can hear God's answer? Remember this. You can listen to God whenever you want. It's a promise from me, a guarantee from me. Rekha Parwani.
I add to his point. It's like, I am nothing, you are everything. 1818 transformation. When I realize this, I am nothing, and I surrender, I get God's answers to my.
Yeah, but you have to, as I told you,
conscious.
Only when you let, there is no mind. What Girish said. Girish gave the spark of the answer. Girish gave, it was not Girish speaking. This is not Girish speaking. I could hear SIP speaking. Sorry, it is not Girish speaking. Girish's answer came from SIP.
Yes.
I can tell you, Girish did not speak today. I can tell you that straight on, Girish was not speaking.
I just added to that. I all this I agree.
So take that base, Rekha. Start with that base. In that state, you must say, when can I get answer from God? When I am in that state of yoga with SIP. In that state of yoga with SIP, when I am mindless, I am thoughtless, I am egoless, I am nothing. I am in that state of Chit. I am in that state of Satchitanand, a yogi in complete acceptance and surrender. The mind is still. There is no noise. I am ready to hear his voice. In that state of surrender and acceptance and stillness and nothingness and shunyata, I can get answer from God. Every time and all the time, without a doubt, I get it every time.
Yes.
It is not me and you. It is how we do it.
Yes.
There is a way to do it. Samatma.
Thank you, AiR.
I will say thank you when you are able to do it and tell me I did it.
Yes.
Yes. Samatma.
The moment you realize Neti Neti Tattvamasi and you're in total silence and stillness,
Yes.
then you become one with God, one with Sip.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
you are in like total shunyata.
Yes.
So that you have totally cut off the noise and you can only hear that small voice within because your mind, you have killed your mind. There are
Correct.
no thoughts.
Correct.
And at that stage, you're in total Satchitanand and ready to absorb that answer which is coming to you.
So, Samatma, when you are not in this sincere state that you're talking about, then the mind will speak.
Yeah.
The mind will speak and the mind will cheat you. And the mind will tell you this is Sip voice, but it is not Sip voice, it is mind voice. Beware of that.
Yes.
Otherwise, you are 100% right. Beware, whether it is the mind or whether it is Sip. Beware. Girish.
जब मुझ में और सिप में कोई फर्क नहीं होता है, मैं बन जाता हूँ, तो मैं सिप का वॉइस सुन सकता हूँ.
Very good. So when there is when what Girish says, I am not alone, thou art. I am nothing. मैं क्या हूँ कुछ भी नहीं, सब कुछ तुम ही हो प्रभु. तुम बिन मैं क्या, कुछ भी ना, जो भी है दिखता प्रभु. कण कण में तू है समा. तुम बिन मैं क्या, कुछ भी ना. You have to be in that state. When you are in, let me tell you one thing, and complete stillness and complete silence. And you have to wait. And you have to wait. Don't keep telling Sip. Sip. क्या AiR बकवास बात कर रहा है क्या? Where are you, Sip? AiR told you will give answer. Where are you, Sip? Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Silence. Surrender. Patience. I'm being very aggressive today because it's such an important topic. It's not a joke. This is not a joke that you can listen to Sip. This is not a joke, my dear friends. Ru.
Shivoham Guruji.
Shivoham.
Guruji, how do we differentiate between that the mind is talking or intellect is talking or we are getting a voice from God?
When there is no question of any thought, when you are in a state of shunyata, nothingness, when you are in a state where the mind is still, when you are just in that state of nothingness, maybe what you are saying is just Shivoham, Shivoham, and you're waiting. You're maybe humming a small mantra, but you're not thinking. There is no thought. You're just keeping yourself completely in yoga, completely engaged, completely in begging the divine, in entreaty, waiting for the divine's answer. And you are in that state of Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. But your voice is coming, but you're not, you have no, that voice is not impacting you. If the voice is impacting you, don't sing. You need to be in complete stillness. And I'm able to sing because I'm able to fill the void. Because in that void, the danger is Ru, in that void, the thought will come. The thought should not come. If the thought comes, it's dangerous. The mind will cheat us. The mind will cheat. The mind will come and give you an answer and say, this is this. No, that is the shaitan. That is not the Bhagavan. That is the shaitan. I hope you, and let me tell you, you need to practice this. This is not theory class. I am telling you this from a practical point of view. And I'm telling you, I get disturbed by the mind so much. I get disturbed so much when I'm trying to do this. Next question. Who wants to ask or say? Either you've understood, say. Thank you. Either if you've understood, you please say. And if you have not understood or you have a doubt, please ask. The question remains, how can I hear God's, is there a way to get answers from God? Chidanand. Namaskar, sir. Chidanand, you are not on audio.
Yeah, Shivam Guruji.
Sure.
Actually, when one stills the mind and drops the ego, naturally, you become one with the SIP. I just got reminded of a very beautiful abhanga from Sant Tukaram.
Yeah.
He says, Jete zato tete tu maja sangati, chalivisi hati dharuniya.
Means
you suddenly realize that actually God, you just become the instrument, and whatever you're doing, whatever you're talking, and whatever actions you do, it is actually the God orchestrating through you.
Correct.
Moment you drop your ego, suddenly, and you, as an afterthought, suppose you start seeing, you also start wondering, why did I say this? How did I get it done? You suddenly realize that everything got done by SIP through you, and you were working only as an instrument. That I was missing, the E was missing.
So this is absolutely right. But Chidanand, we have only one small thing I want to bring. What you said is absolutely correct. Today's discussion is how to use this state to get answers from God. In the sense that what you said is absolutely correct. Sometimes, Chidanand, we are in that state of confusion. We have no conclusion. I'm telling you, simple thing. I'm honestly telling you all. I'm an ignoramus. I'm such an ignorant person. I come on this Zoom call with nothing of my own. I come every day on the Zoom call. You know, I don't prepare 1 minute for this call. Do you know I don't prepare 1 minute? I come on this Zoom call as a yogi. And I tell Prabhu, today's topic is this. I choose a topic. I select the topic. And I tell Prabhu, today's topic is this. And I surrender myself. And I speak. I was at a talk today. I went to a place for 1.5 hours and I spoke. Just before this call, I was in the traffic for 1.5 hours. Somebody invited me for a talk show. And for 1.5 hours I spoke, but I didn't prepare anything. Because what happens is now I realize the moment I try to do it, it comes as rubbish. And the moment I surrender, the best comes. And all of you are so divine that many times when we are trying to get an answer together, all of you come together and we find the best of answer.
I have experienced it myself. When I'm in trouble or absolute dilemma, before going to sleep, I just give my problems to SIP.
Yeah.
And next day morning, I don't even think about it. And at the end of the day or a couple of days, I find the problem has got resolved.
That is bhakti.
Then suddenly you start wondering, what did I say? What did I do? And how it got resolved?
Now, Chidanand, go one step forward, Chidanand. Chidanand, next time when you're doing this, Chidanand, you don't need to wait for the next night. You just go into a state of Satchidanand, go into a state of Shunyata and remain. In the first stage, your problem is getting solved. From the second stage, you will start getting the answer. Try it, Chidanand. Please tell me whether it works. You all please try it. And I want you all to try it. I want you all to, because I know it will not work for all of you, but I'm sure.
It works hour to hour, in fact. Actually, I'll tell you, I've gone through last 4 hours in such a stress. I just left it to SIP. I said, let it get resolved. And I found things were getting automatically resolved.
That is beautiful, but that is not what we are talking today.
SIP is actually orchestrating through.
No. Chidanand, what you're saying is beautiful and accept it, but it's not what we are talking today. Chidanand is talking about what Yogini spoke. Chidanand is saying the answer, how to get answers from God is just accept without protest and surrender in consciousness. Absolutely. If you accept without protest, ABC, you do your best and you surrender in consciousness, your problem will be solved, I'm assuring you. But today we are asking the question, suppose you have to make a decision. I want to make decision A or I want to make decision B. I want an answer from SIP. Today we are learning how to get that answer. How to reach that state of SIPness. SIPness means nothingness. How to reach that state of becoming one with SIP and being in complete consciousness, a yogi in complete consciousness, no mind, no ego, no disturbance, no noise, no distraction. You know how many of us get distracted? You know that? If you have a doubt, please look at the Zoom call and look at your image in the Zoom call. You'll know how many times you got distracted in the Zoom call. In every Zoom call, you must be distracted at least 100 times. But how can you be in a state Imagine I get distracted every 2 minutes having a Zoom call. How can I answer you? How can I give you answers? Imagine every 2 minutes I'm disturbed, I'm distracted. I cannot give you answer. You'll be asked, some speakers in YouTube, you go and speak, you listen to, you just go today, you listen to some 5 gurus and you tell me after, I don't want to give names. You listen to them, public is asking question A, B, C, they are giving answer X, Y, Z. There is no answer. They are not giving the answer because they're not in consciousness. You please don't take my word. You go listen. You listen to the question and the answer and you see whether what I'm saying is right or wrong. Then you come back to me. My dear friends, it's a very beautiful way to get answer from the divine. It's a very fulfilling, it's a great ecstasy, a great feeling of bliss when you get the voice. You hear a divine voice and you know SIP has given you the answer. Who wants to go next? We have few minutes only. Don't lose the opportunity. Today's subject, just a few minutes. Don't come last nth moment and tell me you want something. The question again today is there a way to get answers from God whenever you want? Who else has learned how to get answer from God whenever you want? Who has learned? Bliko.
So it is the mind exercise, means mind has to be trained to live, to be aside, and consciousness has to be in the charge of your life.
If you
this practice will make you connected with deep SIP and you can hear the voice.
Unfortunately, everything may be right, but your grammar is wrong. You're telling me, Bliko, we have to train the mind. वो साला mind कभी train ही हो नहीं सकता, Bliko. Sorry to say, I cannot accept that word.
Kill the mind by
you have to kill the mind. Don't say you have to train the mind. The mind is not trainable.
Yeah, you're right. That's.
I'm sorry, I caught you by your neck. You have to kill the mind. And Bliko, to kill the mind, Bliko, you have to
be in silence.
Still the mind. So go by rhymes. You will never forget all your life. If you sleep also, you will not forget. If you want to kill the mind, you have got to still the mind. You watch it, you catch it, you latch it, you cut the monkey's tail, you make it a monk, you stop the ever yearning, you stop the ever yelling, you make it stop desiring this and that and this and that. Tell it, shut up, you stupid. Tell your mind, stop it, you stupid. And force it. For when you are in thought, you are caught. You have to be free from the mind. Then bliss and joy you will find. You have got to be in that state of consciousness where the intellect is in charge. The intellect is holding the weapon and the intellect kills the mind. Every time the mind gets up, Bliko, you shut it down. Every time a thought comes, you kill the damn thought. No ruthless, Bliko, ruthless killing of the thought. If the thought comes, you will be caught. When the thought is raising its head, Bliko, at that you must not let because if the moment there's a thought, Bliko, you cannot hear the answer from SIP. Why am I being so aggressive today? Because the moment you are in thought, you are caught. Then no problem, Bliko. But Prabhu ki awaaz nahi sunai degi, Prabhu. You will not hear that. Then you will tell me, AiR, you told me I will hear Prabhu's voice. I say, but what happened to that damn it mind which you are trying to train? No. The mind is not willing to be trained. The mind is our enemy. The mind is the biggest rascal. The mind doesn't want us to listen to God. If we are able to listen to God's answer, the mind is finished. The mind is dead. Last question.
Guruji, I want to add one thing.
थोड़ा जोर से बोल रहा हूँ कि आज पता नहीं. I'm getting signal. You are बहुत जोर से. Okay. Yes, please. Last person.
Yeah. So after we still the mind, I think dropping of the ego also plays a very important part because the mind gets still, but the ego is there. I still the mind. Moment to, I think that split second dropping of the ego, it only gives you that, you realize the kutastha which is there in you, and then you understand, oh, that is SIP.
The moment
that triggers actually kills the mind.
Chidanand, with all due respect, Chidanand, The moment you drop the mind and you kill the mind completely, there is no ego. Ego is a byproduct of the mind. When there is no mind, Chidanand, neti, neti. I am not the body, I am not the mind. There is no talk of ego.
About 10 years back, I was going through this process. I'll tell you my experience.
Yeah.
What happened was I was able to still the mind. Then the mind suddenly comes back and says, okay, now you realize I want to experience God.
But that's the mind. That's the mind coming as in the form of the ego.
Again,
What
it
I'm
comes.
saying-
Within split second, it comes back.
But that's the mind. Chidanand, just to tell you.
Yeah, it's the mind.
What
Yeah,
is
but
Chidanand, just answer my one question. You are the most advanced seeker on this call. So tell me, without the mind, what is ego? Tell me, can you explain to me?
the mind is the one who actually creates the ego because it is just a
The
Chidavasa.
moment, Chidanand, the moment you've completely destroyed the mind, you've killed the mind, there's no thought, Chidanand, then there is no ego, Chidanand. The ego is sitting on the ego is like a monkey carrying another baby monkey on its back. Have you seen the monkey jumping with the baby monkey, Chidanand? Dekha hai kabhi?
Yeah, yes.
that monkey is carrying a baby monkey and jumping. The mind is carrying the ego and jumping. The moment you drop the monkey, the baby also is gone. And when we are talking about this, we are talking at the highest level of dropping the mind. Complete, Chidanand, you're on this call, right? We talked about shunyata. We talked about nothingness, Chidanand, in that state of complete mindlessness. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say. Therefore, there is no.
Basically, I'm trying to say the same thing.
Yeah.
That is not only mind; it's mind and ego together has to go.
Correct. So if
it doesn't go, that means the mind is still there.
Yeah. So my submission to you is when the mind completely goes, there is no ego. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. When the mind is
that is the difference I noticed between bhakti and bhakti yoga. When I do bhakti, I still the mind. But I still that yoga is not there. So there is a mind. We think that I am in one with God, but actually you're not.
In bhakti yoga, the ego is alive. In bhakti yoga, the ego disappears.
It's dead. Exactly.
Thank you, Girish. Last speaker for the day, Girish.
Still, avidya is in dormant state.
You're asking me the question?
Yes.
What is the question?
Even after the mind is killed,
yeah,
avidya is in seed or sleeping state.
You please answer my question. Avidya belongs to whom?
Jivatma. Jivatma.
Which part of Jivatma? Avidya is carried by whom? Avidya, ignorance is carried by whom? By the nose, by the ear, by the toes. Avidya is carried.
Mind.
And what is Sukshma Sharir? It is the mind. When Girish, when you have destroyed the mind, when you have killed the mind, when you have stilled the mind, when there is no mind completely, shunyata, then where is avidya, Girish? You agree, Girish? When it is just like saying, I just now cremated the dead body of that man. Now I'm searching for the brains. I just now cremated the dead body of that man, but I'm looking for the brains. Where is the brain, Girish? Huh?
So once we get the answer, the only option is to implement or act according to the answer.
That answer of God, of Shiv?
Yes, yes.
No, let me explain that to you. So when you get the answer, if you are in a state of consciousness, it will be implemented. If after getting the answer, you open the door and you let the mind in, then what happens?
Ek jang.
It hijacks the answer and it tells you, the mind will come and tell you, Girish, that answer was coming from the mind. Now I am going to give the answer from SIP. Who's talking this now, Girish?
Mind.
Mind is telling you. Therefore, it needs to be what I think Bliko said, you have to be a yogi. You have to see, the idea is to cut off this bhoga, cut off this samsara. Many of us, one hand is connected to SIP, one hand is connected to samsara. There's a war. One side we have SIP, one side we have samsara. There's a tug of war. No, we have.
Mind will come back with cashback offer.
Okay, so I think we have come to an end. Is anybody wanting to say something, or can I close? So, my dear friends, today we have a very amazing topic, and I hope it's going to help you. You have found a way to get answer from SIP. If somebody is willing to give you in millions of dollars, you can't get answer from SIP, but you know the answer. You know the answer. Therefore, you're richer than any millionaire and billionaire of the world today, because you can get an answer from SIP. But practice it. Still yourself. Get into that state of nothingness. Get into the state where the soul, S-O-U-L, the spark of unique life, fills your life with enlightenment. Be in that state of consciousness. Be in that state of divinity, of yoga, in stillness and silence and nothingness. And then you will get the answer from SIP. I fold my hands and I bow down to you.